Welcome to Dog Facts and Fun, where every fact hides a story of love. You might think your dog just wants to be cozy. You might assume it is all about soft blankets, warm feet, and finding the most comfortable spot in the house. But what if there is something more, something profound behind the way they curl up next to you each night? Maybe you have woken up at 2 a.m. to find that warm, solid body pressed right against your back. You hear their steady breathing, keeping perfect rhythm with your own. Is it just a habit? Is it simply comfort? Or is it something much deeper, something instinctual, ancient, and deeply emotional? In the next 20 minutes, we are going to peel back the layers of this nightly ritual. We are going to look at 7 powerful reasons why your dog chooses your bed night after night, even when they have a perfectly good bed of their own. And I will bet that number 3 will stay with you long after this video ends. So, let's begin not with dry science or training tips, but with a memory. Think back to the first time your dog, maybe a rescue, maybe a nervous puppy, finally climbed into your bed and didn't leave. You remember that night, don't you? It wasn't just a change in sleeping arrangements. It was a change in everything. Let's start with the oldest reason of all. Reason number 1, it is a survival instinct they still carry in their DNA. Long before your dog had a name, a collar, or a memory foam bed with their name embroidered on it, their ancestors slept in a very specific way. They slept in tight circles, nose-to-tail bodies, pressed together with one ear, always swiving, listening to the dark. In the wild, isolation meant death. Survival meant staying close to the pack because out there in the darkness, anything could happen. Predators' cold danger. The pack was the only shield against the unknown. That instinct hasn't gone away just because they live in a house with central heating. No matter how cozy your living room is or how many toys are in the basket, dogs are hardwired to sleep where they feel most secure. And when your dog presses their spine up against you at night, that is their ancient brain speaking. It is saying, "This is my pack. This is where I am safe." There is actually fascinating new science to back this up. A major 2024 study on canine attachment found that dogs who are emotionally bonded to their humans spend significantly more time in deep restorative REM sleep when they are sleeping in physical contact with their owners. This is the kind of sleep that heals the brain and body. It means that when your dog chooses your bed, they aren't just looking for comfort. They are finally letting their guard down. They are turning off the sentry mode that they carry all day. Have you ever noticed how your dog sleeps with their back to you, or how they stretch their legs out completely exposing their belly and let out a long sigh before drifting off? That is trust. That is survival turned into affection. It is the highest compliment a predator can pay another being. Now let's talk about something even more powerful than instinct. Let's talk about choice. Reason number 2. It is their way of saying, "I trust you with my life." You didn't ask them to come up. You didn't train them to. But one night they did it anyway. Quietly, without a sound, they climbed into your bed, circled once to check the perimeter, and curled into the crook of your knees. That moment, whether it happened a month after adoption or after years of sleeping on the floor, meant something profound. See, in the animal kingdom, sleeping next to another being is a massive risk. Because in sleep, you are vulnerable. You are defenseless. So when a dog chooses to sleep beside you, it is not just a routine. It is a declaration. They are saying, "I trust you to watch over me while I am powerless." There is incredible biology at work here, too. When dogs feel emotionally close to a human, their brains release oxytocin, the love. Toys are in the basket, dogs are hardwired to sleep where they feel most secure. And when your dog presses their spine up against you at night, that is their ancient brain speaking. It is saying, "This is my pack. This is where I am safe." There is actually fascinating new science to back this up. A major 2024 study on canine attachment found that dogs who are emotionally bonded to their humans spend significantly more time in deep restorative REM sleep when they are sleeping in physical contact with their owners. This is the kind of sleep that heals the brain and body. It means that when your dog chooses your bed, they aren't just looking for comfort. They are finally letting their guard down. They are turning off the sentry mode that they carry all day. Have you ever noticed how your dog sleeps with their back to you, or how they stretch their legs out completely exposing their belly and let out a long sigh before drifting off? That is trust. That is survival turned into affection. It is the highest compliment a predator can pay another being. Now let's talk about something even more powerful than instinct. Let's talk about choice. Reason number 2. It is their way of saying I trust you with my life. You didn't ask them to come up. You didn't train them to. But one night they did it anyway. Quietly, without a sound, they climbed into your bed, circled once to check the perimeter, and curled into the crook of your knees. That moment, whether it happened a month after adoption or after years of sleeping on the floor, meant something profound. See, in the animal kingdom, sleeping next to another being is a massive risk. Because in sleep, you are vulnerable. You are defenseless. So when a dog chooses to sleep beside you, it is not just a routine. It is a declaration. They are saying, I trust you to watch over me while I am powerless. There is incredible biology at work here, too. When dogs feel emotionally close to a human, their brains release oxytocin, the love hormone. It is the same hormone that bonds a mother to her newborn baby. It is what makes them sigh. Lets them sleep with both eyes closed for once. This matters even more for rescue dogs or those with separation anxiety. They have known instability. They have known the fear of abandonment. And when they find something safe, when they find you, they don't want to let that scent go. That is why you will often find them curled up in your dirty laundry pile or burrowed under the sheets you just washed yesterday. It isn't about cleanliness. It is about connection. And here is something even more beautiful. When they sleep next to you night after night, your scents begin to mix. You become part of their world chemically, biologically. That shared scent becomes a signal to their brain. We belong together. This brings us to a reason that is often overlooked, but it speaks to the noble heart of a dog. Reason number 4, they are guarding you. We often think of our dogs as our babies, creatures we need to protect, but in their minds, the roles are often reversed. To your dog, you are the most valuable resource in the universe. You are the provider of food, love, and safety. You are the leader, and the leader must be protected. Have you ever noticed that your dog sleeps facing the door? Or maybe they position themselves at the foot of the bed between you and the hallway. This isn't an accident. This is strategy. In a wild pack, the members don't just sleep in a random pile. They position themselves tactically. The most vulnerable members sleep in the center and the guardians sleep on the perimeter. By choosing the foot of the bed or the side facing the door, your dog is placing themselves between you and any potential threat that might come in the night. They are acting as the guardian at the gate. Even in deep sleep, their ears are attuned to the sounds of the house. If a floorboard cracks, if a strange car pulls into the driveway, they will be the first to know. This behavior is especially common in herring breeds and guardian breeds, but almost all dogs share it to some degree. They are taking the night shift. So you can rest. They are saying, you sleep, I have the watch. It is a silent nightly act of service that goes unnoticed, but it is one of the profound ways they show their devotion. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful physical reasons your dog seeks you out each night. It has to do with biology, but also with healing. Reason number 5, your warmth is medicine. Have you ever noticed how no matter the season, your dog finds the warmest spot in the room and stays there? Sometimes it is a sunbeam. Sometimes it is by the heater. But most often it is right next to you. That isn't just comfort seeking. That is biology at work. Dogs naturally run a bit hotter than we do. Their normal body temperature is around 101 to 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit. But what most people don't realize is that warmth for a dog isn't just about temperature. It is about regulation. It is about safety. Especially for young puppies, small dogs, or anxious dogs. Your body heat calms their nervous system. It helps them settle. It regulates their own body temperature so they don't have to expend energy keeping warm. There is fascinating research from major universities showing that close contact like cuddling a dog lowers cortisol levels in both the human and the dog. It creates a feedback loop of calm. That calming effect isn't just one way. It goes both directions. When your dog curls against you, they feel safe. And whether you notice it or not, your body does, too. Your blood pressure drops, your breathing slows too. match theirs. This is even more powerful when your dog comes from trauma. I have heard stories, maybe you have lived one of rescue dogs who wouldn't let anyone touch them for weeks. They flinched at a hand, but one night they tiptoe over, just a paw on your leg. Then the next night they stay longer. And one day they curl into your chest like they have always belonged there. It is not just warmth. It is healing. It is saying this feels right. This feels safe. Some breeds are wired for this more than others. A husky might sprawl at the foot of the bed content in the cold. But a chihuahua, a pit bull, a rescue mix with no undercoat. They will burrow into your side like their life depends on it. Because maybe in their mind it once did. This leads us to a beautiful concept known as co-regulation. Reason number 6, they are syncing their rhythm with yours. Have you ever woken up and realized you and your dog are breathing in perfect unison, or that you both shifted positions at the exact same time? This is the rhythm of the pack. Dogs are social animals that rely on synchrony to survive. In the wild, the pack moves together, eats together, and sleeps together. Being out of sync means being left behind. By sleeping in your bed, your dog is aligning their biological clock with yours. When you settle down, they settle down. When you wake up, they wake up. This synchronization creates a deep sense of belonging. It reinforces the bond that says, we are a unit. For dogs with anxiety, this is incredibly therapeutic. Your steady heartbeat and deep breathing act as a metronome for them. It gives them a rhythm to follow. If you are calm, they can be calm. By pressing their body against yours, they can literally feel your vital signs, using your calmness to regulate their own anxiety. It is a profound nonverbal way of saying, I am with you in every breath. But here is the part that surprises people most. Sometimes your dog doesn't sleep next to you because they need something. Sometimes it is because they have chosen something better than their own comfort. Reason number 7, your bed is more than just soft. It is love. Think about it. You bought them the fancy bed. You spent good money on orthopedic foam raised sides, a soft cover that says machine washable in big letters. It is objectively the most comfortable spot in the house. But every night, like clockwork, they ignore it. They jump onto yours, head on your pillow, back pressed against your spine, and you wonder why. Because your bed is more than a mattress to them. It is where you are. And where you are feels like love. Dogs are territorial, not in the possessive, aggressive way we sometimes fear, but in the emotional sense. In the wild, they chose sleeping spots carefully, ones that kept them close to the pack with clear sight lines and scent markers that said, this is my safe space. Now your bed is that space. They are not just drawn to it for comfort. They are drawn to it for identity, for connection. When they lie on your sheets, your pillow, your blanket, they are not just borrowing softness. They are participating in something shared, something sacred. And for many owners, maybe for you, that is where the bond becomes unspoken. You didn't ask them to come up. You didn't pat the bed. But one night, they just appeared. Quiet, calm. They chose your space and they never left. There is even data behind this. Sleep studies have found that while dogs might shift during the night, most owners report feeling more rested when their dogs are close. Not because the sleep was perfect. Dogs dream, they twitch, they snore, but because the presence of that small heartbeat, that steady breath, gave them peace. And maybe that is what this is all about. Not dominance, not convenience, but peace shared night after night. So let me ask you, did your dog claim your bed right away, or did it take months? Did it happen suddenly or slowly, one tentative paw at a time? I would love to know how you became their safe place. And now that we have gone through the reasons, the survival instinct, the trust, the scent, the guardianship, the warmth, the rhythm, and the love, let's bring this home, because this story ends where it began, with a choice your dog made and the quiet love behind it. So now you know, when your dog curls up next to you every night, it is not just about softness. It is not just about warmth. It is instinct. It is memory. It is biology. But most of all, it is love. That spot on the bed. It is a statement. This is where I am safe. This is who I belong to. Think back to the very first night they stayed beside you. The night they finally stopped pacing, stopped checking the door, stopped flinching at every sound outside. The night they sighed, really sighed, and sank into sleep beside you. That moment wasn't about training. It wasn't about comfort. That was about trust, loyalty, and maybe even healing on both sides. Because maybe you needed them just as much as they needed you. And here is the thing about dogs. They don't fake it. They don't pretend. When they choose to be close, it is real. No games, no conditions, just presence. Not everyone is lucky enough to be chosen by a dog like that. But if your dog sleeps beside you night after night, no matter the weather, no matter the space, you were chosen. And that is not a small thing. So, I would love to know, where does your dog sleep? Have they always curled up close, or was it something they grew into as the bond deepened? What is their name? Please drop a comment below and share your story. Type your dog's name and tell us about your nightly ritual. I read every single one because these aren't just routines. They are moments that tell us who we are to them. And in the next video, we will go even deeper. I will show you what your dog's specific sleeping position says about how they feel about you and what they might be trying to tell you without saying a word. If this story resonated with you, stay with me, subscribe, like, and let's keep exploring the beautiful silent language of dogs. Thanks for watching, and like, subscribe and share please.